Hi everyone, welcome to another studio vlog. It is currently Tuesday, June 17th, and I feel like I am a little all over the place. I have some projects that I'm currently working on and also some projects that I need to start working on, and I'm not exactly sure in what direction I want to go, so I feel a little torn at the moment. I just feel a little unorganized. So I think that is something that I need to get sorted. I think the best way to do that is to make some sort of list or mind map or like a project board or something, so I get a better picture of all the different steps. And since I have all of these projects like cooking in my head, I feel like I have kind of been neglecting my shop just a little. Well, I did actually add a few more stickers a few weeks ago, so I brought back some of the popular stickers. We got the holographic galaxy kitties, which haven't been available in my shop for a few years now, so I'm happy to bring those back. We got a kitty sitting on books, the Nope kitty, the cuddly couple, inner nature with some glittery details. We also got this weird cat club, this one which is also holographic, this, the mushroom kitties, and also the artsy kitty from the calendar. So yeah, we got quite a few stickers now. But I didn't make any new designs, so I was planning to make new sticker designs earlier this May, but I don't know, May wasn't a good month for me. Nothing specific really happened. I was just very tired and low on energy, and I was just waiting for that to happen because I have had a really good streak for this whole year. I've been feeling very energized and creative and motivated, but yeah, the month of May hit me like a wall. But I've been trying to rest as much as possible, and I've been reading a lot of books, and now I'm feeling a lot better. Sometimes you just need a little bit of downtime. So anyway, one of the projects that I'm currently working on is a custom brush set, which you may already know about if you're following me on my social medias and on Patreon. But in case you didn't know, I've been given the opportunity to create my very own Kattvalk paintbrush set, which I'm super excited about, and I'm so happy to see all the positive response and feedback from you guys. So the paintbrush set will be loosely based around these, my favorite brushes. I have more brushes and sizes that I use, but these are basically my go-to. We got size number 2, 4, 6, 8, and 18. I could add even more brushes to the set, but I thought that 5 would be a good number. Not too many, not too few. And this paintbrush is actually the main inspiration for my set. I really like the combination of the natural wood together with the solid colors. It is a really unique design that stands out to me, so this is what sort of sparked the idea for my designs. So I made a few very rough mock-ups just to get a few ideas down. We have the wood handles and the colored bands, and I also thought it would be a fun idea to have like an accent paintbrush, like an accent color. Like the smaller paintbrushes would be in one color and the big one would be a different color. So yeah, this is basically a sketch, and then I made this one. This is the mock-up that I posted on my social medias and on Patreon, and I let you guys vote on your favorite. I just thought it could be helpful to get some feedback and just to see what kind of design people would actually be interested in. And from the beginning here, I also had 2 different color options. We have the purple with a teal accent paintbrush or the purple with green accent paintbrush. The vote showed very clearly that purple and teal was way more popular than purple and green, which was good because the purple and teal color combination was my favorite too. And the most popular design according to you guys is this one. I agree, it is very pretty, but to me personally, it is a little too dainty, a little too light and it isn't really speaking to me. From the very beginning, I thought I would love the gold and the lighter brush color, and I wasn't too fond of the darker color, but once I did a more proper mock-up, I am actually more drawn to this kind of design than these. So even if I wasn't going with your favorite, I still got some very good and valuable information and feedback, like for example which color combination I should go with and also the color of the actual brush. Some of you pointed out that a lighter bristle color would probably get stained and discolored over time, which is very true because I have a bunch of paintbrushes that used to have a white bristle, but they are not so white anymore after being used. So then I started leaning even more towards the black option, but also even if this was the most voted on, these two together got the same amount of votes as that one's, which showed that the black design also was very popular, which made me think that these could work too. After the first round of voting for these 4 designs, I took all of the feedback and suggestions into consideration and I made 12 more designs. So now we have all of these designs to choose from, which didn't make it easy for me, let me tell you. Some of the designs are basically the same. I only tweaked some smaller things like the bristle colors and stuff like that. And this was suggested by you guys, the gold with an all black handle and the colored tips. I'm gonna be honest, I love the design, but also I really wanted to stick with my initial plan to have the wood handle. Then I somehow managed to narrow it down to 4 designs only, and after another round of voting and feedback, we got these 2 designs. So the design that I finally decided to go with is this one. I'm gonna be honest, I am still a little indecisive because I really love that design, and now looking at them again, I really love this design too. But I don't know, there is something that makes me think that this one is a little more balanced, and also with this one we got the whole wooden handle, which is what I wanted from the beginning. And the funny thing is that the design that I finally settled with is one of the original 4 that I did from the beginning. Sometimes you just have to make a little detour to figure out what you really want. It's been a bit of a journey, but now the samples are finally in production, or should be very soon at least. So I will keep you updated about that. So yeah, that's the little process behind the paintbrush set. But yeah, anyway, as I mentioned, I've been neglecting my shop a bit, so it would be nice to put some new handmade bookmarks in the shop, because I got an idea to use these granulating paints that I used in my previous video to make some bookmarks. Then I will also have to scan my latest art so I can turn it into prints. So yeah, let's do that. I usually get some requests to turn some of my art into print, but this one I got a lot of requests, which I thought was a good idea because I really like the art. It is the one that I made with a Kurotake granulating paints in my previous video. So I scanned it and this is how it turned out. All the pink tones are basically gone. The only thing that is standing out is the red color. When scanning art, the colors always get a little washed out. You will have to do some sort of digital editing or tweakings, but this is extreme. So I also tried scanning this art that is also made with the granulating paints, and this is how that turned out. Yeah. All of the pink tones are gone. It all looks very blue besides the red. And my first thought obviously is that there is something wrong with the settings of the scanner. Then I remembered that someone mentioned in the comments of this video that these paints looks amazing under UV light, which makes me draw the conclusion that these are fluorescent paints, and regular scanners such as mine can't handle fluorescent colors, which I learned a few years ago when I made some art using neon paint markers. These ones, I made some really cute art, but once I scanned it, it just looked all washed out. So I wanted to do a little test, so I also scanned the swatches just to see if there's any of the colors that actually works to scan in case I want to use them for art that I want to turn into prints. So this is what the real swatches looks like, and this is the scanned version. Yeah, everything looks very blue or teal. The only color that stands out is the red. That is the only color that showed up on the artwork. The only colors that actually look somewhat like the original is the red, the teal, and this teal purple. This one, and that. But all the colors from set 1, they are gone, which makes me a little disappointed, to be honest, because I was really excited to be using these paints for future artwork. And I could probably do some editing in Photoshop and tweak the different colors to bring out the purple tones, but it would be a lot of work because I would have to cut around all the plants, for example, all the swirls. But yeah, we will see what happens with that. Anyway, I'm still gonna move forward with my plan to use these for some bookmarks. I don't need to scan the bookmarks anyways, and I was thinking if I want to do some sort of galaxy pattern or something like that, maybe some shimmery paints would be nice, like the starry colors. I also have the gem colors and the pearl, and we'll see what I will be using. Something that I realized that I would love to use these paints for, I could use them as backgrounds for lino prints, like for example this one, or maybe not this one, but something similar. I think that would be a fun way to make easy but original art that I can sell in the shop, that don't have to be super expensive because I don't spend a lot of time on it. Besides that, I have to make the lino print, but I just have to do that one time. So yeah, I think that could be fun. So these are the bookmarks so far. I really love the gold details. So my first idea was to keep some of the white around the bookmark like a frame, but since we have the escaped paint on some areas, maybe I could paint over that with either white or maybe black paint, so we could have a black border around the bookmark. And another option could be to just cut along the paint edges and have no border at all, but I think maybe the bookmark would be a little too small. I could also cut them out and glue them to another piece of paper so that we would get the border around them. So yeah, I'm gonna try to figure something out. Alright, so I did some testing in Photoshop trying to bring out the purpley colors and the pinks. The flowers are very pink, but this one almost looks gray. So I did some testing over here and for these flowers, and this is what it looks like. I also adjusted the red tones, so with and without. Now I have only done the adjustments for some parts of the painting, but already it is looking so much brighter and more colorful. So I'm gonna see if I can actually save this piece. There are some parts I am a little worried about, like the yellowish green parts. They're looking very gray in the scanned version, so I'm gonna do a little more experimenting. Speaking of prints, this is the art that I made for the Patreon exclusive print of June. A dandelion with some little kitties. I absolutely love how this turned out. So I'm gonna place an order on Vistaprint. I was hoping to place an order for this one too, but since I don't have a ready print file, if I can even make it printable, so I'm just gonna go ahead and place an order for this. Also, this will be a sticker. It will just be the flower without the background, so I think that will be cute. Alright, I placed an order for the print. We got the dandelion print, some more thank you cards. It is the same design as I've been using for a while now, but I like it and it still matches the whole aesthetic. And also I ordered this art I actually made for an art supply subscription box, not Scrawler box, as a part of a featured artist collaboration. So I made this witchy kitty as the featured art, but then they told me that this art was probably a little too detailed or advanced. They were afraid that people would be intimidated instead of inspired when seeing this art in the art box. I don't want to say anything negative about any of the companies I've been collaborating with, but this particular collaboration gave me a headache. They didn't even send me the final box that I was featured in. It isn't anything dramatic or anything. I just haven't done any collaborations with them since this one's. But on the bright side, I have this cute art. Yeah, this will be a new print for the shop.
Yeah, time to cut some claws. You want some treats? You're such a good kitty. One for each paw and one extra. Here you go.
It is Thursday, we've been home for a couple of hours after a visit to the big city and the hairdresser. It was time for another haircut and some new fresh dye. And this time, instead of the darker purpley brown that I've been doing for the past month, I decided on a more warm chestnut kind of color. It got a much warmer tone than before. I haven't dyed it since February, so I have had my natural hair color showing for a little bit. I had this idea that now during the summer that my hair would get sun bleached. I was just curious to see what that would look like, but I wasn't too impressed, to be honest. It just looked flat and boring. I liked it better before it got sun bleached, so I decided a new fresh color would be fitting for the summer. My hairdresser also experimented a bit with trying to bring out my natural waves, which she actually did. It looked very pretty, but it's been quite windy today, so as soon as I walked outside the hair salon, my hair just So most of the waves are just gone with the wind. I actually went with my husband this time. I usually go with my mom to the hairdresser, but my husband is now on his vacation for about 8 weeks. One of the benefits of being a teacher, you get the whole summer off. So me and my husband took a little shopping trip. We picked up a birthday present for one of our friend's kids. We grabbed some lunch and we went to the art store. I usually shop all my art supplies online, so being in an actual physical art supply store, just seeing all the different paints and papers and pencils and sketchbooks and everything, I love it. This is what I got from the art store, and I've been looking at the exact same sketchbook on Amazon. It is much nicer to get something from an actual physical art store. It is by Royal Talents and it got this really nice cream colored paper, and I'm actually planning to use this for art journaling. I don't know if you saw the sponsored segment in my previous video. I took a class on Skillshare, which are not sponsoring this video, which I actually genuinely found super inspiring, and I think it would be a good way for me to get some more art out of me, just something for me and not for work. That is really the tricky part of having your hobby or passion as your job, because you're not just doing it for yourself anymore. So I'm hoping by starting an art journal I can get some of that art out of me. So tomorrow, Sally's having a little surgery. Sally's been having trouble with her eye for over a year now. And we first thought that maybe she got a little scratch because that happened with her other eye. But then we realized that it is actually her eyelid that is folding inwards, rubbing against her eye and causing an irritation. So now she's getting a surgery when they remove some of the lower eyelid, and it should make the problem go away. You're such a good kitty. Yes, 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 yes. Wow. Yeah. Bless you. Bless you. So I got a few orders that I need to pack, so let's do that. This first one is for Morgan, one of the B grade calendars. And since I'm out of thank you cards, I will have to use some old ones. Thank you, Morgan. And I'm also out of the big cardboard envelope, so I will have to use a box instead. So the next one is for Felicia. Fall Kitty notepad, Sleepy Kitty notepad, and Inner Nature sticker. Thank you, Felicia. I've ordered some new green boxes. I haven't had a chance to stamp them yet. I usually use the purple ink, but I think for the green boxes, maybe I can use the green ink or the black. But I have used the purple ink for green boxes before. But this is also a lighter green. But I can just try it and see what it looks like, because I already got sort of like a purple green theme going on here. Since I'm using the purple tissue paper, we'll have to fill that in a bit. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad actually. Maybe I should go with a purple. The next one is for Marie, such a cute name. Got the artsy cat sticker. And we also got the ducky sticker, the sheep, and the cat on book sticker. Thanks, Marie. The next one is for Karina. They want 2 of this Black Galaxy kitty, 1 of the cats on books, B grade Catmas tree, the Inner Nature sticker. It is so nice having a bunch of stickers in the shop again. Thanks, Karina. Oh, and this order is actually from my godmother. Thank you so much. She wants one of the calendar print bundle and also one of the B-grade cat mask trees. One of Black Galaxy cats, cat on book sticker, and also one of the Flowerfield Kitty bookmarks. She wanted with a pink tassel. I don't have any with the tassels pre-made, so I will have to make one. Like so. I'm also adding a little extra goodie, Texasy. And yeah, thank you so much for your orders. Ever since the whole thing with the tariff, things has been going very slow with the shop, so I appreciate every single little order, so thank you. It is the day after Sally's surgery and I am exhausted. Everything went well, Sally's doing fine and the insurance covered most of the cost, thankfully. Even if it was just a standard procedure, I always get a little nervous when my kiddies are having surgeries and they need to be sedated. There is always a small risk, but thankfully everything went well. So they removed a very thin slice on both eyelids. Even if she hasn't really had any trouble with her right eye, we could see that it was starting to fold in. So they did both at once, and I'm very happy that we did that, because then hopefully we don't have to go through this whole procedure again. So now she has tiny little stitches on both eyelids and she needs to be wearing a cone for about 2 weeks, which is a little longer than I thought. It hasn't even been 24 hours since the surgery, but Sally and we are already sick and tired of this cone, having to deal with the surgery wounds and giving her eye drops and anti-inflammatory medication, no problem, but the cone, oh, we hate the cone. She's bumping into things and get caught on edges and furniture. She can't eat from her food bowls by herself, but you can clearly tell that the cone is bothering her. She's basically camping out next to her food bowl in a very demonstrating manner. Maybe she's still hungry from yesterday because she was on a fast for the most part of the day. Or maybe she's just unhappy about the cone, I don't know. We also bought some of the good food, aka the unhealthy sugary food, but hopefully that will get her to eat a little more. She is a food junkie, so I'm pretty sure that once she gets over the whole cone thing, once she gets used to it, hopefully she will eat just as normal again. So yeah, that is how that is going. Alright, we got our monthly order from Vistaprint with the Patreon prints and some more. And as usual, the box is all mashed up. Will I get what I ordered or will I get something else? You never know with Vistaprint. What is all this empty space? No wonder that the boxes are all messed up when these heavy print bundles are rattling around inside. But yeah, it looks like my prints at least. We got the thank you card, just the same as I've been using for a while now. We have the witchy kitty. Yeah, and it looks great. When you're watching this, this is available in my shop. So cute, I love it. The colors turned out great. I really love turning the digital art into prints, because with your traditional art like this one, I have already seen this in paper form, but for the digital art, I've only seen it on the screen, so it is just nice seeing it like this. And as usual for the Patreon prints, this will not be available in my shop for a while, but if you would like to get this print and a sticker, you can sign up to the Male Cat tier over at my Patreon. This will be available till the end of June, and it is also available on Patreon as a digital print if you would like that. So yeah, that's my little print haul. haul. So here's my most recent batch of bookmarks. I did actually use the lino stamp that I did a while ago. I did this one as a test, but I really liked how it looked, so I did the rest of them. Some in black ink and some in purple. And I do actually have some paint that is specifically for lino printing. I haven't used them a lot though, so I'm not exactly sure how to use them, so I want to do a little more testing before using them for the bookmarks. So I actually just used the Ranger archival ink, which is the same ink that I use for printing my shipping boxes, which I think worked pretty well actually. They look pretty good as is, but I think I still want to add a little bit of gold details. These inks should be waterproof, so hopefully the ink won't smudge with the paint. Alright, there we go. A little splash of gold. I really think the gold details brings them more to life. I really like the purple and teal ones, so pretty. I experimented a bit with outlining some of them. This one was kinda blending into the background a bit, so I added some gold outlines. And I also did that partially on this one, just to separate it a bit from the background. For most of them, besides this one, I filled in the moon, which I think looks very pretty. I'm gonna cut them out and laminate them, and this will be added to the shop along with these ones once I figure out how I want to do with the edges. I'm definitely gonna experiment more with the watercolors and the lino stamp combination. Oh my, look how cute they turned out when I cut them out. It feels like these are a little too big to be bookmarks. I wonder if I should sell these as little mini paintings instead. I'm actually gonna list them as paintings, and if they don't sell, I can just turn them into bookmarks instead. Here are the other bookmarks cut out. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about these, if they will sell or not, but I'm gonna laminate them, and if they don't sell, I can just add them as like Patreon freebies. We will see, they won't be too expensive. This is one of Sally's favorite spots on a bunch of paper bags under the sink in the laundry room. A little update, she looks a little gooey around her eyes, which is natural now in the beginning after the surgery, so I try to keep it as clean as I can. Since she got the stitches, I don't want to rub too much. I'm giving her eye drops several times a day. I'm feeding her, I'm scratching her. You're such a patient, good kitty. It's been a couple of days now after the surgery. She is a little more relaxed now. She is eating a little better, and also she isn't as bothered with the cone as before. Overall, I think she's doing pretty well. And to boost her appetite a little, we bought some of the good food, which is actually really the bad food because this contains a lot of sugar, which is so stupid, but that is probably why the cats are loving them. But it is only for 2 weeks. We used to give them this all the time before, but when the vet told us that this is basically like giving our cats cheeseburgers, I thought maybe we can find some different food without sugar. And if you live in Sweden and if you want to give your cat sugar-free food, I can really recommend this one that is very cheap and you can get it at the grocery stores. It is also grain-free. Not sponsored, by the way, I wish. These two she normally loves, but at the moment she's completely ignoring it, so we're going on a special diet. But this makes it easier to give Sally her medication. It motivates her to eat even if the cone is bothering her. And I was thinking that maybe I can just remove the cone when she's eating, but she's super fast. She wants to scratch her eyes with her paws, so we will be keeping the cone on as much as possible. So I ordered a bunch more of this. She also get dry food, which I put in these bowls in these corners so that she can't push them away with a cone when she's eating. This one is working especially well. It is a little heavier, and because of the edges around it, she can't push it all the way into the corners. Unfortunately, since she's wearing the cone, she can't use the microchip feeder, so Phoenix been stealing her food. Yeah, you're a little food thief. But I keep telling myself it is only for 2 weeks. So yeah, the whole bookmark project is starting to feel a little cursed. I'm not super happy with how they laminated. There is a lot of air, like these little air pockets around the edges. Since it is a bit thicker watercolor paper, the machine can't melt the plastic that is right next to the edges. So there is this very thin air pocket right next to the edge of the paper, which is totally fine, but it seems like it is a little bigger on some of the bookmarks, which means that I can't cut as close to the edge as I would like to make a nice clean cut. This is how I usually cut them, with a little bit of plastic around the edges, but since, as I mentioned, there is this air pocket all the way around, when cutting too close to the air pocket, the plastic starts to separate since it isn't melted together. So I experimented with something else, which is cutting right next to the edge of the paper. The plastic melts and adheres to the paper itself, so it is really stuck on there. The only thing is that the edges of the bookmarks are exposed, so they aren't 100% waterproof, but also bookmarks and books shouldn't be around water anyways. And I also used this to round the corners, and actually I really like it, and I'm using the paper cutter to make straight clean edges. The only thing that I am a little worried about is that the plastic might peel over time, but I'm pretty sure that that would only happen after a lot of usage. But on the other hand, the other bookmarks that I sell are all in paper. They're not laminated or anything, and they are still very durable. These won't last forever either. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same with the rest of them. Yeah, there we have them. They actually turned out super cute. I think this is my favorite, and they are all signed on the back side. It may not be the biggest bookmark, but I think it will work anyway. And also, I think I forgot to mention it regarding the edges around the bookmark. I kept the white of the paper. I didn't do any cover-up painting or anything. I did cut off a big chunk of the border though, so you can't really see too much of the escaped paints. There are still some though. Some of the painted edges are still a little rough, but I think it only adds to the charm of hand-painted bookmarks. But yeah, I need to end this vlog here, so that is all for this time. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you all that are shopping from my store and for becoming Patreons. I know it is a difficult time for many financially, so I super appreciate the support. Thank you. But yeah, I will see you next time. Keep drawing, my happy cats. Bye!